Alrighty, this is a quick video to show you how to use Davinci Resolve to place video on in an overall canvas and how to adjust those parameters. So here we go. Let's go ahead and import our video. So I'm going to go import media, and then I'm going to go to this file. And so this is the overall recording of, let's say, your microscopy, whatever it may be, and you want to compare two different portions of the video or two separate videos if there's a second file. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll just do this little bit right here at the beginning. That'll be our first segment that we're going to do like a before and after. So what I'll do is I'll click the razor blade and I'll split it, and we'll switch back to the arrow. And these are shortcut keys: A for arrow, B for blade. So then we'll go further in the video and find another part we want to compare, like dark field versus light field. Let's go with that. So I'll select a section here. Again, I'll use my blade. I'm pressing B. I click here to split, go back to A for arrow, and then I'll delete this. So you can either click delete and it'll stay in place, or you can do what's called a ripple delete, which I don't know where the shortcut is. Here we are, ripple delete. It's Shift Backspace on Mac, and that will bring them together like so. It'll just take out the space in the timeline. So let's go ahead and trim this back, and you can do that on any end of the video. You just have to find this little icon and trim it back. All right, so let's move the second part. This is our after to the second track of video so that they're happening at the same time. And I'll make them about the same length, whatever it may be. This is, whatever you're adjusting to. So now this one's the second one is covering the first one. We don't want that. So what I want to do is see just the central area of this. So I can use this cropping command, and if it's not up for you, you click Inspector. So now this is all the controls of the highlighted video, and I can do cropping. So I'll crop the left side to just the middle, crop the right, and then you can move that and zoom it. So here's zoom. In that case, I'll reset it, and I'll just move it to the right. So there's our after, and maybe make that a little wider because I trimmed too much. So let's stretch that to the middle or so, and we'll go over here. Great. And then we'll do the same thing to the first one. So I'll move that into position around there. Great. Now, what's nice is you can add a little bit of text. So what I'll do is I'll go to my titles, and I'll grab text, drag that on top. And let's make that as long as the video. In this case, I'll just write before and after since it's so simple. So before, and then we'll move that under settings. Same way you do with video. So you can do position, and then move that down. Great. And then what I'll do is you can adjust font, etc. What I like to do is put a stroke on the outside only, so it's a little easier to read. So you can see it kind of makes it stand out. And then I might add a little drop shadow just to really make it stick out. Now that I've created that, I can click the text right here, highlight it. I'm going to copy. In this case, I'm using the shortcut, but let's do it. There's copy, Command C. And what I'll do is I'll move this up since it's going to paste back in Video 3's channel. So I'll hit paste. That's here, Command B, and now it's there. But they both say before. I want the other one to say after. So I'll click the one on top, and I'll go to its title. In this case, I'll type after, right? And then I just need to move it to where I want it using the position. There we go. Now that's our overall look, and it will play at the same time. You can see the difference there, which is great. So let's say we want to compare the two. I'm going to move all these over so we have a little space at the beginning. And in this case, I'm going to extend the first one. Well, let's move it over here. And then extend that to the length. And I'll go to where it starts here, and I'll hit the blade again. Blade, split it, go back to the arrow. And then this, I want to reset back to everything. And so you see it full size. So then we'll transition to all of these, and I'll use a transition here. So I'll go video transitions, and let's just do a basic cross dissolve. And we'll do that across these two, and on the text as well, so it appears all at the same time. And that seems to be wanting to put it on the front. So let's see if I can get it in between. Doesn't seem to want to do that. So if you click that, doesn't seem to want to do that either. I guess it's on the front. So what we can do there is just instead extend this little bit over to here. Same thing here. And add that cross dissolve so it's the same as the other ones. And then we'll zoom out a little and do on the end. We'll make sure that goes all the way to the end of the video. And right now I have magnetic on. That snaps it to whatever's close so that it magnetically snaps to where it is on the timeline. If you want that off, just click that button there with the magnet and it will adjust freely with no snapping. So I'll turn that back on, move that back here. There we go. So let's have a look at this. So we're just comparing our first little bit. Okay, great. And then we're going to go into the transition. Now you can see before and after. And then if you want to add any kind of images or things like that, you can do that the same way. You would just drag it onto the timeline just the same way you did video or the text. And just add it as another track if you want it to lay on top, put it in position, and then you're good to go. So now that our video is done, or at least what we want, we'll go to Deliver. And I will type the name of the file here. We'll go before and after. Put it on my desktop. You can set it to automatic, or if it's a long video, I like to restrict it down to maybe like 6 megabytes per second. And I'll do an MP4 format because that's very readable by every computer. If there's audio, you want to make sure that's checked, which it is by default, but just to show you. And then you'll click Add to Render Queue and render. And now your video file is done and ready to upload wherever you may put it. And that'll be, in this case, on the desktop where I put it. All right, thanks. Hope this was helpful.